We're looking at Nova Prime right now, right in front of us. If this toy looks familiar, it's because, well, he went through 2 iterations in the Transformers line in the recent years. Originally, this toy was a homage to the Cybertron Galaxy Convoy, or better known in North America as Cybertron Optimus Prime. Later on, that toy was remade into Ultra Magnus. It all depends on how you see it, because people would argue that it was actually Ultra Magnus first and then Armada Optimus Prime. But the toy was actually made so that it was a primo for both characters. And today we're going to look at Nova Prime, this toy here. The engineering is very similar, more similar to Ultra Magnus than it is to Optimus Prime. In this angle, you can see that for the legs in the back of the vehicle, it's a direct repaint of Ultra Magnus. Whereas the front part of the vehicle, you'll see that is more reminiscent of Cybertron Optimus Prime. You can tell right away because of the 2 large weapons on the top of the vehicle. Also invoking Cybertron Optimus Prime is the front grille of the vehicle. Even though he's painted white, he's definitely Optimus Prime. When you look at the side of the vehicle, you also see the wings are now modified. Not only are they made up of 2 flanking pieces of plastic, there are also pieces where the gunmetal gray wings are attached to it. The reason why this is important is because for any of you who know about the history of Nova Prime, he was originally an unused design made by Don Figueroa back in the days when he and Simon Furman were working together for the War Within series. So it was Simon Furman who actually gave Don the idea to reuse that unused design and make him into Nova Prime. We'll talk a little bit more about Nova Prime's history a little later. But for now, we're going to explore how this figure is different from the War for Cybertron Siege Galaxy Convoy. So Cafu is going to do the transformation here. He'll start by taking the small robot component and take him out from the back, separate him from the back, and he'll show you how the small robot look when it's transformed. So take it away, Cafu. So as you can see, the 2 guns, the 2 ladder weapons, very similar to Galaxy Convoy. The attachment, the flank, attaching to the front of the the back of the small vehicle in the front, they made it a little tighter so that it doesn't flop around. When you do hear the click, it doesn't mean that you broke it. It just means that you successfully detached it from the front vehicle. Same thing with the left side and the right side. They'll both click in really, really tight. There we go. Right away, you can see the back different, like it's different from the Siege or Cybertron Optimus Prime, because you have these 2 large wings coming out from the flanks. So now Cafu is going to take the small robot out and transform him. So as you can see, again, it is very tight. But taking it out, it doesn't require too much excessive force. It just means that everything is pegged in tight. So he's going to put the large piece in the back aside for now. He's going to transform this small robot. For those of you who owns the Siege version of Cybertron Optimus Prime or Galaxy Convoy, you'll notice right away that there's no changes to the transformation scheme. Everything is just like the toy back in Siege. The only difference, of course, is the coloring, and you'll see later that when he transforms into his robot mode, the head is different. But for all intents and purposes, at this point, he looks like Ultra Magnus, he looks like Optimus Prime, but he is not. Again, all the transformation is very similar to the classic Optimus Prime toys. You bring out the back of the truck, they form the legs, the front of the vehicle forms the torso, the arm swings out, and very much like the Siege toy, you detach the grille and put it onto the backside as Cafu is doing right now, just to give him a little bit more bulk on the back. And now he's going to finish off the transformation by popping out the head and securing the torso. Again, as you can see, a lot of tabbing. It is very tight. So there you go. That's your small base robot. The back pieces are somewhat finicky. You can do with or without them, but they do attach. And then finally he takes out the heel spurs to give him the stability when he's in robot mode, because simply this robot is quite back heavy when he's transformed. Voila! And there you have it. You have the small robot for Nova Prime. Very much like the previous Optimus Prime power-up versions, he can carry the smaller gun that comes with his backpack. So you can detach that small weapon from the ladder weapon and put it in one of his fists. And he is quite posable. So just attach the gun and there you have it. He has a lot of articulation, so let's count them. He first has the head, turns left and right, looks up and down. Okay, so that's your 1 point of articulation right there. One of his arms, you can rotate it 360. You can bring it side to side, so that's 2 points. And then when you bring him down, he has an elbow joint. That's your third point of articulation. And I believe we can kind of move his wrist a little bit because of the transformation. No, just a little bit. Yeah, he swings around. So on each arm, there's 4 points of articulation. He has his waist. His waist does move a bit. So when he transforms, it's part of the option where you can kind of like rotate his waist. And then each of his legs at his hip, he can rotate that at 360 or like 180. You can move it up and down, side to side. It is a little stiff, so ratcheting joints are good. And then of course the knee joint, you can bend them at the knee. And then the foot, it rotates a little bit, or it pivots or articulates a little bit just to give him the stability. But of course it is part of his transformation, so it's up to you to whether or not you decide to count that as a point of articulation. So with the legs, the arms, the waist, and the head, you have a total of 18 points of articulation. So now Kafu is going to transform both the trailer and combine them with the small robot to form Nova Prime. So we'll set the small robot aside. We're going to look at the trailer. So very much like Siege, Galaxy Convoy, and Ultra Magnus, he comes in components. He comes in several components that kind of box in together into one package, and you kind of apply it at the end of the transformation and kind of lock it in place to form his vehicle mode. Right now, Kafu has taken everything apart, and we're going to transform him into Nova Prime. So take it away, Kafu. Okay, you may notice that there's several tabs on the back of the trailer. And again, they're all kind of designed to go on a certain angle so that when it becomes a trailer, it all locks together properly and it comes together quite tight. So you have to use a little elbow grease just to get it all out. And right away, you'll notice that there's a head of Nova Prime, like so. Now he's going to add it onto the small robot. Okay, so that's position. Now he's going to add the small robot with the larger robot piece, and this will involve some minor transformation on a small robot just so that he fits with that piece. Again, it's very tight, so Kafu is just trying to make sure that when he transforms it, it doesn't break anything. Okay, so he got the back piece right. Got to get the head out of the way because it does go over the shoulders, like so. Okay, position everything back. make sure everything's locked in properly and tabbed properly. There are several ports and pegs in the back of the backpack or inside the backpack that would connect to the back of the smaller robot. And again, for those of you who has this, you will know that it takes a little bit of panel massaging just to get all in the right place. So now Kafua has got everything into the right spot and it locks in place.
Yep.
Okay. Now he's going to add the other pieces after he secured the feet onto the lower part of the robot. For those of you who kind of follow the Transformer toy history, if this seems familiar to you, it's because a lot of the design is very similar to the fan toy the Ultra Magnus armor that connected to the classic Ultra Magnus back in the late 2000s. So a lot of the design aspect is very similar to that toy. So Kafua has just inserted the lower leg armor onto the small robot. Okay, that's secure. And then finally he has the remaining shoulder pieces that he can add onto. Now keep in mind, these are not a necessity to add onto them, but it does give him the extra bulk to make him a little bit more, give him more of a presence, make him more intimidating. But at the end of the day, this is something that you could add or not add. It won't affect the overall playability of the robot. It just makes him look a little bigger than he is. And there you have it. And then of course you have these two these two grill pieces that he had when he was in truck mode. You can add them to the side, and again, it gives him a little bit more bulk and give him a better presence. And there you have it, Nova Prime. He's not as big as the other Primes that came out recently, like say for instance Star Convoy, but he is a very beefy toy. There's some substantial weight to him. He looks good. The colors, it matches the way he looks in the comic books. And overall, he's a very good and interesting figure and toy to have. A little bit frustrating to transform, to be sure. He is a little over-engineered in our opinion, but at the end, this is a very good representation of Nova Prime. Now we're going to look at the toy that inspired him from another toy line, Cybertron Optimus Prime.
We're now doing the comparison. We will also be doing an actual physical comparison too after. But that's his weapon. Comes with a missile piece, the black piece at the top. Push it to launch it. The one better thing about the new is so the Matrix does come out, and that's a much better looking Matrix. The other one's very small. He can hold it, just it's not very well. You have to put it into his thumbs. Yeah, I will. Yeah. So the Matrix is held by him, just you have to put it into his thumbs. The thing about this is very close to Nova. Nova is from the G1 continuity, thanks to the UK. UK has done a lot of extra comic book add-on stuff for the 13. That's where the 13 comes from in the first place. Nova is technically one of the 13, which is a little weird because most people won't count him. But he ended up battling one of the 13. And then he ended up in a dark universe where he became Nemesis Prime. So the thing about the primes are, if you're able to hold the Matrix, you can be a Matrix bearer. It doesn't matter if you're a like a prime designation or non-prime. So long as you are a Matrix bearer, you will become a prime. Right now he's working on the truck mode, well, the main truck mode for Galaxy Convoy. And if anybody's ever wondering why it looks the way it looks, because this was a prototype a while ago for Japan's firefighting truck. So that's why it looks the way it looks. Yeah, so if you have batteries in it, once you push that button, it's very sensitive too. So you will accidentally push that button quite a bit. And the nice thing about the difference between this one and the other one is the wheels on the outside actually work. On the new version, the wheels do not work, they're just molded in. And for that is, I don't think that does it justice, but it does look good though. IDW took the new version and did it without the back part of it. So it is an IDW comic, but instead of having the backpack, he actually has like a trailer cover for him. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Kind of a base mode. And then that will clip in at the very back. Yeah, just have to clip it in. There you go, clipped in. It will make a sound like if you broke something, don't worry about it. The clips are very tight. So the cyber key goes here and goes here. So the cyber key will activate lights and sounds when you push it up for this version. For this one, the sides will rotate out and become missile launchers.
Thank you, Kaful. So that was basically the gist of Nova Prime and how he is different from this Optimus Prime. There are substantial differences, of course. You'll notice that the main difference between the two toys right away is that this one is a lot simpler. Compared to Nova Prime, that one that we just looked at, the Nova Prime act more like a armor around the small robot, whereas this version of Optimus Prime, the backpack act more like an additional weapons platform. What's more is that this version of Optimus Prime, even though it is an older toy, it does have more light and sound features and more play gimmicks, which substantially differentiates from the modern toys. Modern toys, the gimmick itself is just the transformation and the add-on of the pieces. Whereas this one, you not only have the light and sound, you have the missile launcher, but you also have the matrix. The matrix in this case is something you can actually remove and store within Optimus Prime, which well aligns with the Transforming mythos, where Optimus Prime is the matrix bearer. Last but not least, if you check out our other videos, you'll notice that you can attach other Transformers to this Optimus Prime toy. For example, you can attach either Leo Breaker or Nemesis Breaker to either one of his arms, or you can take the entire backpack apart, put that aside, and put on Winged Saber as his backpack. This is actually one of the toys where it kind of inspired the future Galaxy Convoy from the Siege class, because what they did was, instead of remaking this or making a repaint, they completely re-engineered that toy to make it look like this Galaxy Convoy, or this Cybertron Optimus Prime. Of course, you'll notice that in the video, this guy is much bigger. Whereas the other toy that you saw earlier, they more or less scale him down to fit the modern size of the leader class toys. I personally think that's unfortunate, but given the economy and how things needs to be scaled down just to make sure that everything is produced at a lower cost, I understand that. I think one of the things that you would notice for both toys is that they both have ratchets, very strong ratchets. And of course, they both form larger vehicles that can roll independently. Whereas this one is a little tricky because, as you can tell, the back wheels, they don't quite touch the ground. Even though the wheels are functional, they do not roll very well because of the fact that the back of this trailer attaches onto the foot and is not always precise. Same thing goes with the other side of this vehicle. So you'll notice that this side rolls, but some of the wheels on the front doesn't roll. And this is a rubber surface, and it should grip, but it does not grip. Last but not least, the similarity between the toys also lies in the sculpt. You'll notice that in the earlier part of the video, Nova Prime has a lot of details on the toy in both the truck mode and the robot mode. This is no different for Cybertron Optimus Prime. You notice right away on his trailer, there's a lot of techno details. Same thing with the panel on the side, which forms the wing. And of course, in the front, there's not only truck details on the cab portion, but you'll also notice that the coloring, they put a lot of colored details onto this truck. Now, unlike the 2001 Robots in Disguise Optimus Prime, there is no attempt to hide the robot kibbles. Right away, you'll notice that his head kind of sticks out. There are slots for his robot arms. And of course, if you look really closely, you can just see the legs. That's kind of hidden by the guns, but if you look closely, it's right there. They're not making any attempts to hide it. And it's because for Transformers Cybertron, they really focus heavily on the Cybertronian modes. Because in the beginning of the story, that's where the story kind of started off. That's where it took place. So they weren't too concerned about having realistic Earth modes, as you can see with this Optimus Prime. We all know Optimus Prime is supposed to look like a semi, but in this case, it kind of deviated from it, and it's more of a fire truck mode. You can actually tell it's more of a fire truck, or more or less a fire truck, because of these klaxons on the top of the cab. One final note is that when you transform this guy, you have to be careful that, because there's so much weight on the back with the trailer and whatnot, the midsection kind of droops when you pick him up. So unless you're kind of picking him up from the middle, there will be some droopage either from the front or, of course, the back. As you can see right now, it just plopped. So even though it has strong ratchets, I would highly recommend that whenever you do have a chance to check out this toy, you want to pick it up from the middle so you don't accidentally drop it. Because this toy nowadays, it goes for a pretty good coin. So just, word to the wise, pick it up from the middle and not from the ends. So that's kind of our review of Cybertron Optimus Prime and Nova Prime. For those of you who read the IDW comics and want to learn more about Nova Prime, I highly suggest that you pick up one of the trade paperbacks and kind of learn a little bit of the history between the two characters. Now, the last thing I want to mention is the Cyberkey gimmick. A lot of people notice that, okay, when Armadas first started out, they have mini-cons. And then in Energon, they kind of have mini-cons, but they don't really activate features like they did with Armada. And of course, by the time we reach Transformers Cybertron, they use the Cyberkey instead of using the mini-con where you plug them in onto the port that would activate their play features. By this time, you kind of know they kind of, I don't want to say abandoned the gimmick, but this is kind of like their way of further cost-cutting the Transformer line without having to have too much, I guess, expenses, engineer and design into the toy. So if you like what you watched here today, hit like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos we're going to put out about Transformers and their history.